People hit me up for interviews. Y'all gonna have to come out the fucking pockets because I'm not doing shit for free. 3,500 to 10K is my range. Y'all pay Dr. Umar thousands of dollars to get the fuck on there and talk. Y'all gonna pay me the same shit.
So Dr. Umar, Dr. Umar's daughter's out here asking you to hit the cash app. Right? She's demanding 3,500 to 10K for her to do interviews. You could say it's all for clout. That's all that she wanted. Maybe I wouldn't disagree with you. Or you could say, like father, like daughter, right? Drink the coffee. Too soon? I don't think so.
I just hit 5K on Instagram. The Dr. Umar video was over 200K. I posted 3 videos regarding him. They all hit over 100K in 24 hours or under.
And this is where Double D Mother makes her exit because shit is getting weird. And I'm not going to be a part of this whole debacle. So this will be my final video on the Dr. Umar biological daughter deadbeat allegations. I'm not going to be a part of this because it's looking real fishy. I told y'all yesterday that I felt like the way Dr. Umar was responding because he was making it out to be a joke, I felt like it was maybe for clicks and views, and the things that is coming out of his alleged daughter, it appears that this is a money grab.
Okay, so she thinks this is a money grab and it was all orchestrated. Maybe a conspiracy that I don't think it's true, but of course people have that opinion and people are allowed to have their opinions. But this is exactly what it looks like to set yourself up for a bad situation later on in life. What am I talking about? When I say, as men, we should be careful to make sure we don't plant our seeds in the wrong women. Because I understand, trust me, I understand that there are 2 sides to this conversation. There's the side of, is Dr. Umar someone people should take seriously? That's the approach that I'm coming at this with. And then you have the men who are like, well, I can empathize and I understand with someone not allowing you to cooperate and see your child and the courts being against you. This is the coffee pot. We talk about this often. I'm coming from the perspective of people who listen to Dr. Umar like he has a solution for fixing families in the Black community. He said many times that men should step up. You should step up, take care of your Black boys. We don't do that, so on and so forth. And then this comes out. I believe this could have been cushioned if he would have gone into detail and really, really put his stance out there, experience, opinion, shared that he also has 2 single mothers, not once in a while in podcasts here and there. No. That should have been one of the main experiences that he could share, because there are men out here who could relate to this. And then on top of that, knowing that he's gone through this, and if he in fact wasn't allowed to see his daughter, if that is true, then he would have understood that just asking men to go out here to wife up single mothers and take care of them is a mission where you're setting yourself up for stress, embarrassment, and unappreciation as a man. You're setting yourself up for this. This right here is the end result. And it's just proving more and more that this is actually his daughter, not only confirmed by him, but I mean, she's got his sense of humor.
You look so good on your live, Dr. Umar. I want to eat you up. At ease, my queen. At ease, my queen. What do you mean you want to eat up the prince? You look so good on your live. I want to eat you up. What do you mean by that?
All right. So these are all videos
You look
that she's been uploading ever since. And I think people are just laughing along with this, which leads me to my regular point when I talk about Dr. Umar. I think most people who are fairly balanced look at him more of a comedian than somebody who they should follow behind and walk in their footsteps. Ask him, though, he's the chosen one. He's the greatest thing to be presented to mankind. That's roughly translated some of the things that he has said. And then I saw this really uncomfortable video. I mean, let's not forget this chick's like 22. She could get married. She's old enough to drink. She's a grown woman at this point. Still has a lot to learn, obviously so, but here she is dancing in front of the camera. Now you could say, oh, she's just doing this for attention. But if you go to her TikTok page, she's been doing stuff like this. Now, is this on brand with what Dr. Umar probably be would probably want his daughter to be doing if he was in her life? Probably not. And again, what's the result of you not being careful to the men out here who still have a chance, right? To the men out here who still have the chance, what's the result? Humiliation of your lineage, humiliation of everything that you've built. And you know, this is part of the reason why I give a shout out to the Obamas. And I know a lot of people roll their eyes when I say this, but say what you want. And I'm not somebody who agrees with most of what they stand for outside of what they've done with their family, right? But when it comes to their family, respectable family. And I don't think people usually recognize and highlight respectable families or good black men, you know, out here who are dating. And what do I mean by that? Men who build strong families, because number one, it doesn't bring the clicks, it doesn't bring the views. And on top of that, they don't create a bunch of noise. I don't even know what these chicks have been up to, right? He's 2 daughters. And if you're asking, well, how do you define raising up good children? I think there are really 2 things in my books, right? And you can let me know if you agree with this down below. I'm curious to know. Number one, I believe has to be, they don't ruin and tarnish your family's reputation. They don't destroy your family's reputation and family name. Oh, that's misogynistic because of the last name, men. Yeah, F it. We don't care. As much as people want to pretend like that's the patriarchy and last names don't matter. No, your last name matters. Your children will either improve what you've built and build a good reputation for your last name, or they will destroy it. What did you stand for? Maybe controversial, but what did it produce? What fruit did it produce? And sometimes it only takes one person to bring down the family name. If I said Obama's children, I think most people would be like, okay, you know, we don't know. We don't know is better than we know that it's chaos, even if you disagree. If I say Elon Musk's children, it depends on which one you're looking at, right? If I say the last name Epstein, right, invokes a different type of reaction, and you can feel it within yourself whether it leans towards being more positive or negative, depending on the values you stand for and what those children did after they grew into adults. So I do want to check this out because I think this is telling right here, this next video. Let's check it out.
Y'all, this is what my dad responded to me. Good evening, princess. Although I am very disappointed in your online behavior, I want to have lunch with you and your mother next Thursday or Friday. Please have her text me the day, time, and location for our meeting. You deserve to hear all of the truth from us together. We have much to discuss. I look forward to building the relationship with you that she never allowed us to have. With love, your father. So you decide to reach out to me because I outed you. You had all this time, you had all these chances to reach out to your daughter, but because I outed you on social media, now you want to sit down for lunch? You're a fraud. You're a hypocrite. You are everything that you say that you aren't. And you got on live responding to me, talking about some struggle stream and talking about some, oh, I'm known in North Philly. If y'all needed to find me, y'all could have found me. Why the what do I have to find you for, sir? When you're my dad. Right? Like, now you want to have a talk because I outed you. Hold black men accountable. Hold them accountable.
Hold black men accountable is what she says. Now, again, 2 different sides to this conversation. Yes, I understand the side that's going to look at this, and I actually agree with you and say probably was some brainwashing from the mother there to her if she's refusing to meet up with him and actually talk with him. That's not what this video is about. I already told you guys this video is overall about Dr. Umar's approach to fixing these type of issues that he's going through, and also on top of all this, discipline, sexual discipline. Listen to me, my gentlemen, please protect your seed. Please. Some of you are going to be great men. Some of you are gearing up to be very, very great men. We live in the digital age where your digital footprint, your personal brand definitely matters. You do not want to get to the point where you've gained some respectable reputation. And you're thinking, oh man, any day now, I may be exposed by my daughter, right? Who I do not have a relationship with, who may have only heard one side of the story. And I actually think that Dr. Umar in a video said those specific words. He said in a video, he said, one of these days my daughter might come out and expose this and that. He said that. Watch out. Be careful if you are in a position right now where you don't have to be in this situation. Here are a few comments. Top comment says, and when you find out it was really your mama, then what? Here's somebody else who says, and I wouldn't be surprised, right? I believe it was her mom's probably told her all types of lies. Another comment here says, I thought you outed him for him to reach out. Okay, so that's not true. She said she wanted to see her sister. She wanted info about her sister. There we go, right? Somebody else who says she doesn't want answers. She wants clout. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, this seems like she also wants the clout that came along with this. Somebody else who says, you stated in your previous video, a conversation is what you wanted. What's the problem now? No, she never said she wanted a conversation. I'm just remembering the video that I reacted to the first time. I remember her saying, I don't even want a relationship. I want to be connected to my sister. Again, you don't get to choose how your 22-year-old daughter who is getting raised by a single mother, especially if she's bitter, is going to react online. And then you had this video.
Trying to use your father's name to build your struggle streamer career is so not cool. Struggle streamer? But you have 2 daughters and you're not in their lives, Dr. Umar. But I'm a struggle streamer? You see what I'm talking about? Why is that your only focus? You have 2 daughters and you are not present in their lives. Let's focus on that, Dr. Umar. Clock that T.
Again, I think it's wild to encourage men out here to go out and wife single mothers. As somebody who thinks they're wonderful single mothers out here, I've said this again over and over, who actually do drink coffee, but most of these chicks out here are insane, man. They're insane. Few comments here. Active father forever, deadbeat dads never. Dr. Umar is the struggle streamer. What a nerve. Okay, so I definitely also understand that, like, this is an interesting place to be in when I'm reporting this whole topic, because I definitely know that the single moms out here are definitely using this as an opportunity to shit on all men who they allowed to bust the cheeks and are not allowing to see their daughters, right? We know that this happens. Somebody else who says, I'm so sorry he's failed you as a parent. Here's somebody else who says, why wouldn't I use my daddy's name to help my career? You, my father. Okay, these comments are just getting ridiculous. I do want to give some real value, though, to my guys out there. Of course, all I can do to the guys who are not in a situation like this, where they're dealing with like a bitter baby mama, so on and so forth, so I could just say, protect yourself at all costs. At all costs, right? At all costs. Take that Plan B pill. If it, wrap it up. Have some sexual discipline. Don't go around smashing every chick that you see. If you're somebody who values family, do that, right? And protect yourself, because it just takes one mistake. There are plenty of dudes who wish they could go back and stop that mistake. That's number one. Things can become very real very quickly. Kids are a lot. All right. I'm having a difficult time with one kid. I can only imagine what it's like with no help whatsoever. 2, to my guys who are going through this, and you may be in this situation, the best thing I could do, and I did this exactly for you, is encourage you to head over to chishazed.com and join Brew Brothers, because that means you're a father, right? It's for fathers and men who value marriage, both. And you can access a conversation I had with attorney Lauren, the lawyer. This was a snippet. I've shared a couple of snippets on my channel, but she goes into depths and gives tips. This is legal information, not advice, but legal information for men out here who are dealing with things like custody, because that's what she deals with, because that's what she specializes in, right? She handles the mess typically after the divorce. So after the divorce, or even before the divorce, you're dealing with a lot of like custody, and she keeps it real in here and understands that men do have a more of a challenging time when it comes to custody and family court when they're dealing with those types of issues. So that's chishazed.com. And over there, you see it on the front page. You can join Brew Brothers. Let's see what other people had to say about this particular situation.
Snow bunnies never, deadbeats forever. You got 2 black women pregnant, did not wife them, and then had kids with those said women, and you don't be a father to them, but get on the internet every day and tell us black men how we need to improve ourselves? It sounds like the call is coming from inside the home, Mr. Umar Johnson. You so busy worried about everybody else's kids. Worry about your own goddamn kids. You trying to build a school. You don't even know if your daughter be getting back and forth to school. That shit is really real life crazy. Like, the people who get on here and just give you so much game and try to motivate you into doing some shit, bro, that really be they spirit talking to themselves. They thinking that they giving you advice, but it's they spirit giving themselves advice. Gang, I don't want to hear no more talking points from Dr. Umar Johnson until this shit is addressed. Because, gang, you can't be a deadbeat and then saying that you pro-black. You can't get 2 black women pregnant and don't marry either one of them or be faithful to either one of them and call yourself pro-black. Make some shit make sense, Dr. Umar.
All right, so that was that. What do you guys think of that video? Top comment here says Dr. Umar, a menace. Somebody else here says DNA, daddy not available. Somebody else here added, finally, the fraud has been exposed. Here's somebody else who says active fathers forever, deadbeats never. Here's another comment that says business before back shots. That was funny. That was funny. First time I heard that. Hilarious.
Dr. Umar been a panhandling, soliciting, don't take care of his kids Negro who just panders to people and tell them what they want to hear, especially women. We've known this for years. Man, pretty much all these dudes who get on here and preach pro-black family this, pro-black family that, don't practice nothing of what they preach. And if you look deep enough into their past, it's a trail of unpaid child support, multiple baby mamas, and children who curse their name. And this is coming from someone who exclusively dates black women. Man, all these dudes like Dr. Umar Johnson who get on here, talk about who athletes date, black queens this, black queens that, any common sense know the play that you trying to run before you even line up in formation. You love black women so much, but you constantly keep making them single mothers and not taking care of your kids and not paying child support. You claim to love black women so much, but you won't tie your assets to one because that's the white man's paperwork. Dr. Umar appeals to insecure black people looking for a hero. Who don't take care of his kids can't say nothing about the community. Nothing.
Do you guys think that Dr. Umar appeals to insecure black people looking for a community? That's an interesting point. I've never heard that one before. Let's read a few comments here. Top comment says, nothing has ever been proven yet, and y'all already jumping on this. Another person who says, that dude literally made a statement on his Instagram saying that she needs to do a sit down with him and her mother, basically deflecting the blame. Listen, after this video right here.
So good on your live, Dr. Umar. I want to eat you up. At ease, my queen.
I believe it. That was the one that did it for me. I'm like, nah, no, because we can be honest here. Dr. Umar is hilarious. He's hilarious, and it looks like she got part of that humor.
Dr. Umar's daughter came on this internet and called him out for being a deadbeat, and all he could do was throw out his credentials. I am the most educated, the most requested, the most, just throwing out nothing but his credentials, right? Like that got anything to do with being a deadbeat. How educated you are or how popular you are has nothing to do with if you're a deadbeat or not. Anybody else catch that, or was that just me? I just feel like Dr. Umar just pulled a Philly ninja move.
But what did you guys think of when you heard that? Comment down below. If you actually get this, then I just know that I'm on the same wavelength with my audience. Like I know my audience so well. Somebody's going to get this. But when I heard her say, what does that have to do? What do your credentials have to do with you being a deadbeat? I immediately thought, that's what you guys do. Who's you guys? Modern women. When you hear modern women talk about why she's a wife, she starts naming credentials. I've got a degree, I'm this, I'm that. It makes sense that he thinks within those terms. It makes sense why a lot of black women can relate to him and support him. You do the same thing when it comes to, and I haven't seen other videos of this chick. She might be different, probably not, but she might be. Right? She might be different. But a lot of these chicks, I see 200 plus comments in here. Bet you a lot of these chicks, hella degrees up in this comment section. And if you ask them what separates you, you know how many degrees I have? That response is right on brand with Dr. Umar, the women who follow him, and don't drink coffee, so on and so forth.
I said it. Typical Philly ninja move. Be a deadbeat, get caught up on being a deadbeat, but then want to say, me and your mother could talk privately or publicly and we could talk. It was your mother's fault. I got all the paperwork. But if you are the most educated man, the most popular, the most requested man, and with all the education, you didn't know how to navigate getting rights overseeing your daughter? I want somebody to answer that. Like, the pause is for a reason. Like, you did not know how to navigate getting rights overseeing your daughter. No, you was just a deadbeat and didn't want the rights overseeing your daughter.
Okay, so I don't agree with that, right? I don't like how when I hear people address this issue or other issues like this, they act like it's some simple thing to go out and get custody to your children. Is it impossible? No, right? It's not impossible. And in fact, in the conversation I had with the attorney, Lauren the lawyer, she goes into detail about that. Again, you can access that by joining boobrothers@shishasaid.com. But it's not easy. It's not easy. We can agree that it's not an easy thing to do. We've seen plenty of high net worth individuals who could pay the best lawyers who've had a lot of difficulty being able to see their children. You got Jeezy, you got the Tyrese situation, so on and so forth. So this whole like, oh, you couldn't figure it out. No, we see the challenge. We see the challenge. So we can at least acknowledge it. It probably was challenging.
She was not lying, as Dr. Umar has come out and confirmed that that girl is indeed his daughter. He made this very questionable post to his Instagram. Y'all can pause to read. And then Dr. Umar calls Anissa a struggle streamer, saying that she's trying to use his career and fame to jumpstart her struggle streamer career. Like, ooh. And then he was talking even more trash on live.
I have events in Philadelphia all the time. I got family in Philadelphia everywhere. And you've been trying to find me? Stop the cap now. Can we please stop the cap, brothers and sisters? Trying to build your struggle streaming career off of my back? Coming up out of nowhere? Acting like you've been looking for me? Get Mama Smurf. When can the three of us have a sit down? I'm ready for this. When can Mama Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Baby Smurf have a sit down? Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork.
Anywho, Anissa was able to get in contact with her sister's mother and will be speaking to her sister fairly soon, which is amazing. She also said that she will not be posting the DNA test results because she doesn't have shit to prove to the internet. After putting public pressure on her father, Dr. Umar did finally respond to Anissa.
You had all this time.
Yeah, we already saw that. Let's move on. This is the last video.
Dr. Umar serves as a cautionary tale for both black men and women. You got to understand, there's a way that Dr. Umar could have escaped this, right? If he would have said something like, hey, you know, my long-lost daughter just came forward, and first and foremost, I'm going to say sorry for how everything turned out. You know, me and your mother had you when we were both younger. You know, well, things were a little tumultuous. She started using you as a weapon against me, and I didn't know how to necessarily navigate those waters. I thought paying child support, providing money would, like, at least tide us over until maybe me and your mother came into a cordial arrangement, but that never happened, and, you know, I wish it would have turned out different. He would have said something like that. He would have got 99% of the men back. And he would have got 50% of the women back, too. That's a 75% save rate. But what we actually got is, yo, mama. See, women need to understand this, man. See, you got to understand, a lot of women come across Dr. Umar, they going. He's like a tall dude.
In case my editor bleeped that out, he said, yo, mama at 304.
Very well-spoken, very educated, very assertively spoken. He got a lot of status, but most importantly, he be talking that talk, right? He be black queen this, black queen that, black queens forever, snow bunnies never, right? And you got to understand, when a man is doing that, he will black queen you to death and then do a black queen dirty, even if that black queen is his own daughter.
I don't want to get on the internet because at the end of the day, you know, this is something that can really like with him. But I'm really just coming on this as just a dad that really don't know what to do at this point. I've been dealing with this since he's been born, damn near. It's like I don't I really feel like I'm a fucking nanny at this point.
All right, so I'm going to give my take on this DDG situation. The caption of this video is titled, DDG addresses previous tweet about not seeing Halo. And so we're talking about his son here that he's not able to see at this moment. Goes on to say, behind closed doors, I have not been able to see my son. Let's keep listening.
The nanny has been able to have my son more than me. And I don't even know the nanny name. It's just not fair, bro. So I have to come on here and I gotta do this, but I gotta do it like this. Now I gotta go to court, do all this extra shit when it ain't even gotta be like that, bro. Now if y'all don't see me with my son every day, y'all know I stream every day. Every day I don't see my son, I'ma number it. Let's see. I know she gonna let me see my son now. This is the only way. It's like, bro,
So I've been seeing a lot of people address this particular situation. This, of course, is going to be a controversial take, and you may be surprised at the direction I'm going to go with this situation. We're going to go back 2 years ago. Keep watching. My controversial stance, which won't be very controversial to my subscribers, is I don't think Halle, I don't know how you pronounce it exactly, but I don't think she is as innocent as the media portrays it to be. Her team obviously does a pretty good job. They have to, Little Mermaid. But I don't think she's as innocent as she herself tries to be. And I think a lot of the hate that you see DDG get a lot of the time comes down to how they perceive her compared to him. Let's get this out of the way right now. Of course, I'm looking at two people here who yet again decided to create a broken home. You can roll your eyes, right? Take a moment to roll your eyes. Are we going to talk about this again? Yes. Yes. Because, what people want you to do in this situation is definitely not mention that and just accept this like it's the norm, right? That's not the reality that I live in. That's not the reality that I want people who watch my content to live in. With that being said, I don't hear, because check this out. Top comment here reads, they're dragging Anthony Edward for not wanting his kids. They dragging DDG for wanting to see his kid. Ninjas can't win. That's a beautiful comment. Because overall, when I look at this particular situation, I do not understand why you would not want the man who you chose to impregnate you, who you chose to have a child with. You guys did that together, why you would be keeping this man from seeing his kid. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. And what's even more upsetting, right, is that the next top comment, 36,000 likes, says, she probably don't want that camera in his face every single time. But you decided to have a kid with a streamer. I mean, do we lack critical thinking skills when it comes to making decisions about big moments like who we plan to have children with? I think the answer is yes.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
And I need to drink that coffee. And by the way, I could have easily been in that situation. But at the end of the day, the argument, I would have never made the argument of this. It would have been probably along the lines of, shit, you did this, you were being careless. And I'm fortunate that along with being careful, certain guys, sometimes you just get lucky too. But I was very careful. I was very intentional. But also there's a couple moments that I probably could have ended up in this situation. That's just the truth. Right? But 90% of the time, there was intentionality. There's no reason why anybody should be surprised that he wants to stream with his child when DDG is known. If you search his name here, right, I just did a quick search. What does Google say about him? It says, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, actor, YouTuber. And not only just any YouTuber, he's one of the most known streamers and YouTubers, huge platform today. And so why are you surprised that he sometimes wants to stream with his child. So why are you surprised that he sometimes wants to stream with his child? Now, you guys may be asking, what did you mean by she's not that innocent? Let's go back. Let's go back to 2022 when the Coffee Pod released a video titled Chloe and Halle Bailey Get Exposed for Lying About Female Nature. The thumbnail title of this video is They Like Bad Boys. And so I'm using that term loosely here, right? But here are the facts. If you would have asked most people, who do you think she would have ended up with? Someone like Halle. When she got older, do you think she would have been a single baby mama? Most people would have said, nah, that's Little Mermaid. But, you know, she likes what she likes. And the problem is you can't choose a man and like what you like and now say, oh, I don't want you to stream with him. Oh, I don't want you to live the life that you may be portraying. I mean, you can't let a rapper / streamer get you pregnant and then be mad about his lifestyle. And that's what happens, you know, same old thing. But this is exactly what happened here. I'm not saying DDG is a bad boy, but there is, you know, the rapper image that goes along with his brand. Very good friends with Blueface, who is dating Krishan Rock, you know, who's locked up now for who knows how long. That's who she's attracted to. That's who she picked to reproduce with. It is what it is. But listen to this video. I thought this was interesting, right? You had her little brother there, Branson, I think his name is. He's probably a lot older now. Exposing the two of them when they were acting like they love gentlemen. You know, when we know modern women don't love gentlemen. They really don't. Most women today don't. And he said, no, you guys don't like that. You like bad boys. This was before she got pregnant, right? Check it out.
Gentleman. When a guy is a gentleman and is like nice and kind and gentlemanly, that's like, whoa, okay. Like, yes, please take my hand. Yes, okay.
There she is playing in dudes' faces. And they're thinking, oh, I have to be a gentleman. I have to be a gentleman. If I'm going to bag Chloe or Halle, I'm going to be a gentleman. I have to be a gentleman. And Chloe's there laughing her butt off because she knows it's just not true. It's just not true.
That opens the door.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really true though. I feel like you guys just say that, but sometimes y'all girls are like, you know, he's a little too nice for me. And so I just feel like y'all just say that just to say it, really. I feel like y'all really
I will expound.
I feel like y'all are really attracted to like player dudes.
What?
Over gentlemen, if I'm being honest.
No. That's not.
That's the shit that Morgan likes. Do you guys remember that? That's an inside joke for my subscribers who've been watching me for a while. But this is like the Morgan Bailey situation, if you don't remember. This is the chick who got beat up by her baby daddy after complaining that she found out she was one of 7 baby mamas and the whole world felt sorry for her. She built a brand, random man in Atlanta, and he came out and said, hey, that's the shit that Morgan likes. And it wasn't long before she took him back. He was clapping the cheeks again, and she claimed that he put hands on her again, this time badly. And she wanted us to act surprised. Wow.
Not true, but I will say.
Woo, I'm crying.
I think what
Look, Branson speaking the truth.
Who said that? Who said that?
See?
Branson.
Look at this. Branson speaking the truth. Facts. Everybody's facts. Straight
Well,
facts.
girls,
Okay,
let's be honest. Let the girls be honest. If a guy, there is a difference between. There's a happy medium.
Okay.
There's a happy medium.
Now that deserves a round of applause.
All right. So that's that right there. Let's see what other people had to say about this particular situation. Let's get it.
See, if DDG was smart, he would have understood this a long time ago. Once you decided you was no longer going to be with Halle as a relationship, you gave up your rights as the primary father. Most of us active fathers go through this. We want to be the family man. We want to be, once you have the child, you automatically think family. But once that child comes and you realize nothing's changing and I literally can be a dad without having to be with the mother, you got to understand how that would hit the mother. Two things could be true. She could be a great mother and still be bitter. I'm pretty sure she's pissed off right now. Because the life that they was accustomed to before the child got here is not the same DDG that she's seeing right now. This is YouTuber DDG. This is content creator DDG. He's outside right now. And you want her to give the son to him whenever he wants? It's never going to happen, gang. She accepted you as the primary dad under the conditions that you was her man. Now you're everybody's man. All bets are off.
So that's why I say I don't think that she is as innocent as she's portrayed to be. I think that it's no surprise that she's treating the situation just like every other bitter baby mama we see out here. And of course, my advice to men who are not yet in this situation is be careful at all costs, man. Protect your seeds. And for the men who are in this situation and you're a father dealing with this and you want tips, because, you know, this is what I can provide of value to men who are actually going through this, is check out the conversation I had with Lauren, the lawyer. This is a snippet, but you can see the full conversation in Brew Brothers, shishaz.com. She goes into detail about tips for men who are dealing with custody battles, and that's what she specializes in, family issues that are in that area. Let's keep listening.
DDG be doing everything except for hiring a lawyer and petitioning for visitation in court.
And that's the problem. Y'all make it hard for a man to be in a child's life. Why in the would DDG have to do all that? Why should he have to do all that? To be a father?
Right.
I have to hire a lawyer to get visitation to see my son? My bad, our son? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I have to do that as a man? Shout out to the women that don't make it hard for a man to be a father. Even if y'all have y'all differences, even if y'all got y'all troubles, even if y'all look at each other different, even if y'all hate each other.
Right.
Shout out to the women that let the men be fathers.
Good
y'all
point.
Make genuine men.
Good point. And shout out to Scarface. Follow him. Instagram, IG.
Men that truly want to be in their kid's life. Jump through hoops and go through hell just to be there. Put them on child support, even if they're being a good father already. Y'all just do shit. And I'm not even surprised about these responses, bro. At this point, y'all like being extra and difficult, and y'all just love chaos. And it's just a whole different thing with y'all. Like, it's weird. Why won't he hire a lawyer and go to court and get 50-50 custody? Why?
Yeah, I think Scarface Mark had a good point right here. Because think about it, because I've thought about this, and this just came to my mind like right now. Someone would be asking, well, why is he coming to the public to do this? I think it makes sense. When you really think about him coming to the public, now sort of exposes another side of her, because, you know, she presents herself as this sweet, you know, Halle, and she wouldn't do that. She's the victim. We don't fall for that over here. With these modern women, we don't fall for that. We understand that behind the sweet smile, probably a wonderful mother could be somebody who's very difficult to deal with. That's the reality. And so he's probably taking the position of, hey, I can be real about what's going on publicly, and as long as it's made harder for me on the back end, I can possibly jeopardize your image. These are the issues and struggles you go through. And most dudes cannot fight in this way, right? It's because she's famous now that this can probably be an effective play. But to the guy who she doesn't care if you expose her to the world as a monster, because at the end of the day, she has a regular job and that's not going to affect her money and her reputation. She's cut off your whole family. It doesn't matter to her. But this approach, I see why it may make sense for him to take this route because of her brand and how she's been presented in the media.
Y'all know what I'm starting to think it is with Halle, Halo, and DVD. I think that DVD doesn't want to do stuff in the courts and stuff because Halle might request for Halo to be limited from the internet, which affects DVD's bag. Because y'all know that DVD's bag mainly comes from Halo.
Okay, so we're done with that. He is pursuing stuff the other way, is what I see. Let's see what else we have.
Controversial take, but to the men that are like, that love to go to the internet, DDG, and be like, she don't let me see my kid, she don't let me see my kid. My only issue with that is like, y'all will go to the internet and complain about y'all's baby mothers not letting you see your kid, but y'all never go to court. Like, why are you telling social media we literally can't do anything? If it's that big of a deal for you guys, do what the mothers do and go fight for custody of your child if it's that important to you. But the issue is y'all just like to make a scene and make a mockery and embarrass people, but y'all don't actually take the necessary actions to improve your situation. And I just don't respect that. Like, there was no reason for DDG to come to the internet and let us know that Halle doesn't let him see his child. And then the story he told was just like, dude, that's what you're arguing about? You had your kid for 3 days straight, but on a day that y'all agreed was her day, you wanted to impede on her time and see your kid. Like, no. And people are in the shade room comments saying, like, as the father, he has every right to see his kid every day. Who does that? Like, what couple or, what separated parents let the other parent see the kid every single day? Like, no. Everybody has certain days, whether that's you have the kid for 3 days, I have the kid for 3 days, and we switch every 3 days. But I don't know any situation or any judge that's like, yeah, we're going to let the kid, like, each parent can see the kid every single day. That's crazy. And as adults, like, no, that's insane.
Probably hasn't been agreed upon custody time or family plan, whatever it is. I'm not an expert with that. Let's check out a few comments here. I didn't read more comments from this particular situation. Let's see what other people have to say. This comment, y'all really need to stop this DDG hate, train, and the perfect Halle narrative. Whoa. Okay. So they're kind of speaking from the perspective I am. This is getting ridiculous. It's surprising to see on the Shade Room as a top comment. Right? I expect this somewhere else. Goes on to say, this is getting ridiculous. Y'all know he's a good dad. He wouldn't even come on the internet saying this if he didn't feel like he had to. Let that man see his child. There's so many kids out here wishing they had a parent, father, and he actually wants to be one. To conclude this whole situation, to the men who are not yet in this situation, do what you can to save yourself from this hell, because it really does look like hell.
Ladies in your 20s, you might think my story of having a baby at 47 has nothing to do with your young life, but let me tell you how every part of it does. I bought into friends with benefit. I did what's called dating beneath myself. That's what my best friend at the time told me. I came from a good family, had my college degrees, had traveled and filled up my passport book, and yet I was dating a weed head. I dated a drug dealer twice. I dated drug dealers. Why would I do that in my 20s? Wasting myself, knowing that these were not husband materials, knowing it was just fun and games. It wasn't until my 30s that I actually started to come correct and work on my personal character. But you don't have to wait to work on your personal character. Don't buy into society norms of it's okay to sleep around. It's okay to smoke weed and drug your body. Having toxic relationships, being around people that make you want to fight, do ugly things. This is how you can waste your time and waste your fertility and wind up not having a baby until far later in life.
Okay, so we have another rare moment here. She says, I dated a drug dealer. I've dated somebody who was a weed head. She spent her 20s wilding out. But luckily for her, and I do want to emphasize on lucky, God blessed her with another opportunity, what it sounds like, to have a relationship, a healthy one, with a child, from what we see here. And this isn't the case for most people who take on this route. I believe we need more women out here speaking out exactly like this, the same way we have men out here serving coffee, because this message right here is the message that modern women roll their eyes at. And younger women, if they understand and capitalize on, can take them the right direction they need to go to in life, especially if their goal is to actually settle down and find themselves a man who can respect them, a man who they can also value. Let's read a few of these comments. This commenter here says, I'm 30 and I was guilty of this. Dating a smoker / rapper and another smoker. It just sucks not having guidance from your parents or anybody on what are red flags. Right? Yeah. It's very important. And how do you stop that cycle? You stop that cycle by not continuing to create broken homes. Somebody else who says, I'm all right not having kids. I'm not ruining my body. And of course, this is the type of woman, this is the modern woman today, more concerned about her body than she is actually bringing somebody of value to this life.
Ladies and
But, you got to be grateful that we don't have more people, more women in specific, who think like her, right? She responded and says, that's okay too. It's good that you know that you don't want children, so you don't make any mistake having one. Yeah, that's very true. Imagine being born to this woman right here, little Miss J, and realizing that your mom doesn't love you. We see that. We had a series of regretful moms who literally said verbatim, this is what they said: I hate my children. Crazy. Now the comment here says, baby girl is analyzing what you're saying. I love it. And she responded back and says, she listens to me. Hope that's always the case. And somebody else here added, we need more women like you. That is a fact. Somebody else here added, thank you. 26 and finally let go of the felon with 2 kids who had my heart in shambles. I know I deserve and want better. Wow, good thing you let go of that. Somebody else here says, thank you for your honesty. Somebody else here added, on this side of TikTok is where I want to stay. Here's another person that says, girl, the economy is trash. Kids not coming out of me no time soon. Here's another person who says, don't waste your time or your most fertile years. Here's somebody who says, girl, say it louder for the girls in the back. Yeah. It's difficult for people to speak out who have been through her situation. Part of me wonders if she actually didn't have a child, because obviously she had her kids later on in life, if she would still feel as optimistic about encouraging women and this, so on and so forth. But hey, however it comes, right? Because usually if you can't have a child and you realize like you really suffered and you can't have children and you're by yourself as a woman, you have to cope with it. And so the last thing people want to do is say, I made a mistake. Now they say, I don't regret anything I did. This is my story and I don't regret it. So she responded to this commenter who says, are you using your own eggs? Was this natural conception?
Okay, so Wake Up Girl 3 asked me if I am using my own eggs and was my conception natural. The answer is yes, I used my own eggs and 2, the conception was natural. Basically, our attitude was this: we're getting up there in age, but it would be a blessing to have a baby. And so we decided, okay, we're not going to do anything to stop a baby from coming, but we're also not going to go out of our way to make the baby come. So we didn't do IVF. I didn't freeze my eggs or anything like that. We just let nature take its course. There's no watching a calendar or anything. We just lived our lives. And so I think it was a bit just like let go and let God. And then God did. Our attitude was, look, because this is for us spiritual. It's not just about the biology and the cells splitting. There's a spiritual thing. Like there's someone, a being coming into your family. And
right.
Our attitude was, hey, if somebody wants to come be with us, he or she has to make use of the resources we've provided. So that's his sperm and my egg. And if they can find a good old egg in there and good wiggly sperm, have at it. And she did. Huh. So that is my conception story. It's a beautiful thing.
Blessed is the right word right there. Blessed is the right word. Praise God for that. Because in most cases, again, this doesn't usually turn out this way. Some people may say lucky, but definitely not the average story after following what she said she spent her life doing.
But I will say lifestyle wise, I would say that I was pretty healthy. I don't have any pre-existing conditions, but, never did drugs. And I've always maintained like supplements in my life, lots of B vitamins and A, B, C, D, all the way down to zinc. And so I have watched my health over time. And I think that did help as well as the father. He's never been a smoker or a heavy drinker or anything like that. And he too has maintained his supplements and diets. And obviously it takes 2. So he was healthy, I was healthy, and then God kicked in. And now we have our little girl. She's coming.
Amen. Hey man, congratulations. A few comments here. Top comment says, I'm 41 now and 8 weeks with twins. I lost a baby last year at 34 weeks and God bless me with the twins now. Wow, that's beautiful. Yeah, kids are a beautiful thing, man.
Men really don't understand the anatomy of a woman. If I talk about a man's part, saying that it's not big enough, whatever, they constantly throw back or comment, oh, it's because of being too loose and blah, 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 blah. Incorrect. If a woman you're with is extremely loose, most likely it's because she is so excited to be with you. The more excited we get, the damper it becomes, which then in turn feels like it's loose.
Okay, so how did we get here? This conversation, which was started by this chick, all begun with the video that she released that was captioned Meat Stick Mania. And so based on the title, you can already probably tell what she's about to get into here, right? She talks about how, in short, bad boys typically, in most cases, are more endowed than the nice guys. I'll let her tell it herself and we'll talk about it more.
Let's be honest. Women flock to the bad guys because most of the bad guys know how to put it down. They bring with them the mighty, mighty meat stick. They cheat. They don't communicate. They can't commit. They have multiple baby moms. And they probably sprinkle in a little bit of verbal abuse, mental abuse, which is bad.
She's like, which is bad. I don't like that at all. But, you know, I do like them. So maybe I do like it. This is insane. Let's keep listening.
However, we want them because their meat game is amazing.
Okay.
When women find these nice men, quiet, good job, provide, family oriented, they usually come with a doorbell. The little mighty doorbell.
This is crazy,
and you'll know it's
bro.
a doorbell because when you try to get on top and it keeps falling out, it's not because you don't know what you're doing. It's because his little salchicha, can't do the salsa. So this is why we're always in a...
Okay, so yes, you just heard this chick pretty much say nice guys typically have small joysticks. That's an insane thing to say. And now she's trying to use that as the reason why she's probably messed around with a bunch of bad boys, like she says, from her past. That's insane. Now, if she said to me, the bad boys know how to hit it better than the nice guys, and you know what I say? I say, don't be the nice guy. But if she said the bad boys know how to hit it better than the good guys, which she probably means good guys as well, which I think is a better thing to aim for as a man than being a nice guy who pleases everybody. Then I would understand. If you say the sex is just better, I get it. But just assuming that they're bigger and that's the only thing, like if you're a good guy or nice guy, it means you have a small package. That's insane. Number one, my argument would be that sex is mostly mental, right? And it does not mean that size doesn't matter. It doesn't mean size doesn't matter. But I think most of what she mentioned there are usually pseudo-masculine qualities that these chicks are attracted to, that a guy can possess, who usually is too nice, too good, being able to stand up for himself, not being willing to put up with a bunch of BS, being somebody who's motivational, has a strong drive, you know? And again, I'm not saying size doesn't matter. Size matters to an extent. But the whole classification of, if he's a good guy and a nice guy, then he's probably has a small package, and that's why we're not attracted to these men. All the bad guys have big pack. Again, I just wanted to be clear. I do understand that size matters to an extent, right? That's a sip of coffee that a lot of men usually have to take in and understand that it matters. But to the extent that it matters, I think when you get online, people emphasize it and usually don't focus on the other qualities that can increase sexual drive, right? There are a lot of dudes who men won't even give a chance to because they turn them down mentally and they can walk over them. Let's keep listening to this video, this Size Matters video.
So it doesn't mean she's been in Pound Town for her life. It means that she actually likes you. So you should take that as a compliment. Unfortunately, there are men that are just not blessed. They just don't have it.
But is that all good and nice, man? And that's an excuse why you haven't been able to find somebody to date you and take you seriously? Because that's what this sounds like.
And it's sad because I feel bad. Everybody wants love. Everyone wants to have sex. But I'm sorry, if the size isn't there, what are you supposed to do with it? Like, oh, he's cute? No. It's terrible.
Let's see. Now we're on the page. Oh, she's got the Cash App in the... She's got the Cash App. She's got the Cash App right there. And I already know some of you simps are going to send her some money. Won't be my subscribers. Let's check it out. It says, this is 48. Happy birthday to me. So 48. See, she already has, she put the Cash App in the beginning and says, this is 48. She wants people to shoot the money to the Cash App. This guy's going to do it. He says, breathtaking gorgeous. Breathtaking gorgeous. I can barely get this out of my mouth. Breathtaking gorgeous mistress. Is she selling cat? This chick is projecting. What other BS do we have on here?
I'm going to be a matchmaker for somebody that I absolutely adore. Single man, 39.
She wants to be a matchmaker. This is crazy. I can't do it. Listen, we're out. Guys, I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Leave your comments down below. Of course, I'm curious to know what you think. To my soon-to-be married or currently engaged men, make sure you head over to fathershaverights.com and access while you still can, because soon it won't be just readily available for free. The #1 guide to drafting a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement. You get it for free, 100% free, with offer code REVIEW. I appreciate you guys. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.